Phantom of Tiny Bones. Hey, everybody. Hope you're having a good one. It's Tuesday. It's card time. And today we're gonna... I always make time out to check this out at least once with these sets. We're gonna jump into Thunder Junction Limited, but we got new cards hanging out here. I know what you're all thinking. You know, what this limited format needed. Another bonus. But that's exactly what we've got for you. One of the things that I think is most interesting about the Alchemy stuff this time around is that while I don't, know for certain on a lot of these, like the design, the art and card choice looks a lot like stuff that would have been within the Aftermath set that got pulled into Big Score / Vault for Thunder Junction. Because Thunder Junction was supposed to have a 50 card epilogue Aftermath set, much like March of the Machine Singular, but that got rolled into the set. So when that got rolled into the set, that file was narrowed down from 50 cards to 30 cards, leaving card designs on the table. But with how close to print that was, I would wager left a lot of art assets as well on the table, which we're seeing pieces of here, or will be seeing pieces of here. If not, they just look. Sometimes you just want a lot of Jace. It's good for you.
Getting a little bit of Jace in your daily diet's a good way to. Honestly, I was gonna say it's brain food, but Jace has done so many bad things to his own brain that I don't think that that's the case.
Yeah, that's like. So what? Like, these cards are. We're gonna see a lot of cards that are very specifically epilogue cards, not just for Thunder Junction. Like, Thunder Junction had a pair of epilogue articles that focused on Jason, Vraska, and Loot. And so we had the cards for them. But we're also going to see epilogue cards, which are for the other sets of the year. This is something even within... if I go... I'm gonna quick go pull up... You can pull this up. If we look at Big Score, this is what was going to be the Aftermath set. And we go to not collected because I don't own a lot of cards of this. We see cards that are very clearly cards from these previous sets. Cards, our Detective for Murders, our Gnome Colorless Token Maker for Lost Caverns. I don't know if we've got more direct. I'm looking to see if there's like a more direct Eldraine one, but I don't see immediately anything that screams out Eldraine. But the point is that the Alchemy cards follow in this vein, where we're going to be seeing a lot of not only like the Jace Vraska loot bits, but also like Aftermath stuff for our other sets. So yeah, this deck's fine. This deck is fake. But yeah, thank you very much for the raid, Doc. And howdy, everybody.
Yeah.
What were you up to over in?
Just thinking that's a kind of interesting way for them to be doing some alchemy stuff.
Yeah.
Including the aftermath stuff for the year into this, instead of it just being kind of like side by side but a little bit fucked up.
Yeah, like can I, if I go in here and I select Alchemy as a format and I go like Alchemy Karlov Manor, let's go in here. Like, we just kind of have cards. Like, and
Yeah.
they're
like
not
crocodile.
they're better than where we used to live on these. One of my biggest complaints about Alchemy originally was that the first couple sets of Alchemy cards felt like somebody just like somebody had just like created a bunch of digital cards and not even bothered to skin them. That's the reason behind big score. Yes, big score. So when March of the Machine Singular Aftermath released and had one of the worst reactions any set could get, they had to very quickly pivot because they had planned on doing it for Thunder Junction and saw we can't do this. If we do this twice, we're going to like this will go horribly. So that's where big score comes from. But yeah, so like some of the earlier Alchemy stuff like looks like more awkward or like not fitting for the set we're in. But we've gotten a lot better in the last few years of like, okay, cards that are using mechanics from the set, you know, cards that are specifically tuned for some of the themes, maybe the themes that aren't even like explored heavily. The Lost Caverns doesn't really have the same merfolk, pirate, dinosaur theming as it did, but here in Alchemy we get to have some cards that function based off of that, as well as cards that like let us do either like other jokes for the set, our First Little Pigs, or like a digital only style effects, or just sometimes crocodile,
Or sometimes just crocodile.
so yeah, using this as a place for like, okay, here's a little bit of actual after the story bits. Kellen has a dog?
I guess. A pretty big dog?
Well, I mean, one dog.
Or is that...
Is that a
No,
perspective
so
dog? Like
this looks like it could be perspective or it could be a giant. It's weird. I'm assuming perspective given that the background looks slightly more faded out.
Yeah, and
But it's not so faded out or like, you know, loss of detail that it exactly... It could be either or, is the thing.
And like, you know, we even have some more like, you know, the murders does a little bit more of like, okay, here's some multicolor stuff for each of these. You know, a new Tajik, a new Amara, and such. So yeah, we're gonna get to see some of that in Thunder Junction.
All right.
Alchemy feels like a catch-all space where they can do previously unset style designs, figuring them out before paper designs. Some of these in this set feel like very directly like these could or would have just been like paper cards. There's a couple that look like they could have just been like a cycle of experience counter commander style stuff.
Yeah. The thing for a number of alchemy cards, they very much could have designed them in paper. But they kind of take shorthands with the online stuff versions of them instead.
Yeah,
Like
and
Perforated Crocodile is a card that would be so simple to make in paper in practice.
I mean it's very side of a massacre worm, you know, but like sticky.
Exactly.
You know, you could do that by just saying -2, -2 counters and such, or something to that effect.
And while those creatures have -2/-1 counters on them, they cause the person owning them.
All right, so
lose too.
here's our alchemy card.
Okay, it is a bird with wild goose chase. Draw 2 cards, discard 2 cards. The create a food token, and it's a 3/3 flying trample ward 1 with an upside.
Yeah, the upside being whenever you sacrifice a token, Albiorix perpetually gets +1/+1, which will trigger even if this is in exile.
Yeah.
I'm basically like part of doing alchemy drafts is just like enjoying doing the alchemy card stuff regardless. Yep.
Hmm.
I like that wild goose chase. It's a faithless looting at instant. Okay.
Yep.
Uh,
And again, talking about things that could very easily work in paper. If those were just counters instead, this would work. You can put +1/+1 counters on something in exile.
yeah. So, also I can easily pass up our actual rare here.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Good to see green blue happen
Yeah.
right here.
Playing the heist. Primal Might is kind of messed up. This is a really good like fight spell.
Yeah. Excellent removal spell.
Like playing the heist is like real, just as a draw 3 that you can, if you need to set up or want to set up, you can. Bandit also pretty good. We're not so with the Goose. It's unlikely this set doesn't have a ton of sacrifice. Treasure is basically the only way we're
Yeah.
at least in these colors, because like the sacrifice stuff, you know, we get some treasure in red, we get a little bit in green, but like that's really what we're looking for in this set for it. So I don't think we're building around that ability. Spiral of Canal, Decisive Denial, Make Your Own Luck. Okay. Decisive Denial is the negate / fight.
Yep.
Make Your Own Luck is a draw 3 that lets you plot one of the 3. That gets it is just a pretty dang good thing to be doing. Lasso is very strong. Scorching Shot's strong, but double red. We're kind of fine in every color here.
Scorching Shot is actually kind of impressive in its like flame slash adjacency. Or really just destroy that creature now kind of thing.
Yeah. Phantom Interference is nice.
Interference is
Big fan. Big
fan
fan.
card that makes a spirit. Okay.
Yeah, the big thing about this is that it is a like Mystic Snake-esque or a Mana Leak or the body. One of the
it's not that common that we get just bodies on blue counter spells, basically.
Yeah. Black looking wide here. Shoot the Sheriff is like interesting in this format in the sense that like
a lot of creatures that can't kill.
A lot of things it can't kill, a lot of things it can. It's a little under or a little over 50-50. Scorching Shot, Entertainer, Lullaby, Tumbleweed, Lone Shark. Don't hate Entertainer. This card's just fine. Also a fan of Lone Shark. This thing works out pretty well as just like a drawing body. Kind of like you have to work for it a little bit, but it's like Cerulf's Packmate from Kaldheim, in that you pay a little bit, but you pay before on it.
Yeah. Entertainer also would work with the Lone Shark pretty well.
Yeah.
Is the thing, so Entertainer is better for board presence.
Zav is crime copy. Splasher's quite aggressive and also quite good at doing crimes. Lone Shark from Hit Video Game, another Crab's Treasure, indeed.
And that's a way for a piker to live on attack, huh?
Yeah, it attacks pretty freely and also is a crime enabler. We're not like in a strictly color combination that cares too much about that, but I'm more interested in this than most. Unfortunate accident, maybe.
You're not in a color combination that cares about crime. You're in a human being state that loves committing crimes.
Yeah. Speaking of crimes.
Now we're talking.
I actually like the Desperado. I think it's fine. The body is big enough that it like tangles well. We see a lot of this style at the low end, and so this can put a stop to that. The mill is sometimes a pain in that, like, you can't control it and they can get you for it, but this isn't a graveyard set where, like, you milling 6 is going to immediately lose you the game. Yeah. Daring Thunder Thief, Bristleback, Pack.
Oh, Daring Thunder Thief is a card I immediately hate. I've not seen this.
Yeah, this is a card.
A 4/4 with flash that ETB's tapped. What's your point?
So the
You're just a creature with haste in blue, but sideways.
Yeah, the idea with this card is that it plays with some of the 4 power or greater stuff, and also it plays with blue-white not wanting to cast on their own turn.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the Sentry.
But still,
that's the idea, at least. Raven's still coming around. Anklebiter, Tumbleweed.
Tumbleweed's good. Anklebiter's also good.
Yeah, I like Anklebiter. Gets the job done. The job being hold the ground.
And the Heist failed forwarding.
Oh goodness, Nycthemeron, thank you for gifting out 25 subs.
You should have cocked and floated instead.
Yeah, it's
usually more reliable.
You never go for the forward. Yeah, thank you. Once we're out of this, I'll do more direct.
If you'd like, I can do the congratulations.
Go for it. I would.
Congratulations to Garbonix, Bremy, Video Witch, Tyrant Raylos, Swangs 93, Furious Furioso, Bertlesby, Logical to You, Vanilla Night Rail, Zetsu, Klarn, Big Fat Dude 1, Dr. Inertia, Blackjack Attack, Blue Jello 1, Bentwig, Kefka 40, Elize Wolf 18, Elize Wolf 18, Lavender FW, Fake Garbage, Not Skywalker 24, Chaos Jester AC, Audrienne, I Rescue 26, and Benak. Sorry, I had to read them for the first 4 letters, then the others, so it took me a little bit longer than it should have.
So
hello, Grenzo.
Grenzo here has a mechanic that is specific to the alchemy bit, which is just flat theft from your opponent's deck.
Yep.
This is much easier to do in digital because it doesn't result in actual theft.
Yes.
So Grenzo here on play or beginning your upkeep steals a card. You get to see 3 and pick 1. And then also Grenzo lets you cast 1 for free. I'm pretty sure this card wins the game on, like, come down, right? You're just playing a non-land from your opponent's deck every turn. Better than just playing Stoic Sphinx.
I don't think you'll be able to.
It's too off. If it was 1 off color, I'd go for it, but it's 2 off.
If it was 1 off color, absolutely. But Stoic Sphinx is just an effective creature.
Yeah, High Noon, Outlaw Stitcher is a card that gets...
Detention Sphere, a white-blue card, or is it just... It's hard to tell.
It is a white-blue. Yeah, this is a Return to Ravnica reprint. Very powerful. You can O-ring trick with it. Oh, here's our...
Impetuous Lootmonger. If you had gotten Grenzer into this, that'd be pretty good.
Yeah. Outlaw Stitcher or Alchemist is the real... We have a number of, like, plot cards. This could do some real work.
I would love you to see the doc, the bear.
Yeah, that makes the plot cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Ah. As mentioned, we have some Jason Vraska art in here. this one being a hell of a, like, draw 4 that's all gas.
Yeah. 2 creature cards from grave to hand, then 2 non-creature, non-land randomly put into your hand, huh?
Yep. Grab another Phantom Interference. Weave the Nightmare. Black, blue, 1, choose 1. If you control a non-land permanent you don't own, as you cast it, choose 2. Theft, -5/-5, or negate. Food makes, food tokens are gain life, not make mana. That's a hell of a removal, like a flexible spell in that color combination.
Mm-hmm.
More Evolved. This one's from the normal sheet.
Right, yeah, this is the colorless mythic land that is for constructed and not for anywhere else.
Yeah. Feels like it's missing being an artifact, but maybe that's a bit much. Anyway, I'm all here for tumbleweeds. I love this card.
They're still pretty gun-shy about printing artifact lands willy-nilly, I'm pretty sure.
Another weave. Ooh, Spinewood's Paladin. That's another nice.
Pretty sure the saw that he's wielding is something I made in Liza P.
Yeah, that's fair.
Donkey was using it.
3 steps ahead. Ooh.
Now this is
a card. This card has been seeing a very good chunk of constructed play because, like, if you squint, it looks like Cryptic Command, and sometimes if you squint, it looks better than Cryptic Command. And sometimes if you squint, it looks worse. But like, blue 3 for counter target spell, draw 2, discard with like the token aspect and like all of the aspects on there make for a pretty powerful card.
What's that Silver Deputy do?
Tutors a land to your top of your deck and then is a mercenary.
I see.
It's like the saddest fixing piece. Which is why I'm picking
it
a third
grab
color.
Desert specifically, if that mattered, but it doesn't in this color combo for the most part.
Oh, Freeze.
Okay.
Commando. I could pick up the Gulch as a way to play this here, but Commando is like a real... Like,
yeah.
Like, I want to set up the deck before setting up the splash. Draw 2. Never been... I don't know how I feel about this Grift. I don't think it doesn't. Like switcheroo for
That's
4.
for blue-black. For the, things you control but don't own setup.
Yeah. Hypothesis old jailbreak scheme is actually fine. Desert's 2 coming around. I'm gonna try and stick on that. Well, okay. Let's put you down here in case some more things come back around.
Okay, well, your being in blue feels very correct.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what pack 3 has to offer for us.
Force of Vigor.
This isn't it. Sadly, like there are targets for this, but they're mostly like tokens. Sometimes you get an O-ring or 2.
Yeah.
In like the best of matchups. I don't know what I care about in this pack. Rope. Bombs.
You want it?
Yeah, whatever. I'll just take this.
Just take the forest and accept that you took the forest, I guess. Vraska, straight up.
Yeah, Vraska. Also,
Honest Rootstein.
Yeah, this card's wildly strong too. If I'm looking to care about a second color, both of these are things that sit with back for more. Naturalist would be like if I don't want to pick up a second color. I honestly think the honest gentleman here is a little bit more of what I want in this. It's ramp as well, which is kind of wild. Alright, let's see what if the black splash looks like we're going anywhere. Vanishing Verse. Oh boy. Ruby Collector. Don't worry about it.
Conjure a card named Mox Ruby into your hand. Okay.
Yeah, trigger this only once. Once he...
Once he does it, that's it. Does never happens again.
Yeah, unless you flicker it somehow. I don't know how you do that, but you know. Get Moxes. Oof.
Harvester of Misery.
Oh, God.
What does Silent Extraction do?
Oh, that's choose target spell, counter unless pay 2. If you have Threshold, seek a creature of that mana cost.
Okay. That's not bad. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
It's an on-color thing to do, or another Massacre Worm.
right. It's a Massacre Worm, and it's like quite powerful at that, but I'm not certain how much I can get the black going for it.
Also, Decisive Denial over there is also a green-blue counterspell, looked like.
We're gonna try it.
Crab.
Crab's really strong.
It's the crab!
Crab loots, crab beats. Crab just does a lot. Shoot the sheriff. Okay. Gonna have to pick up on, like, if I can pick up on a piece or two. The thing that makes me fine about this, even if, like, double black, is that I can discard it for its...
Yeah,
you know.
for its channel.
Yes.
That's a channel, right?
That is a
there.
channel, yes. Hi. Love Repulse. Love this town ain't big enough, too. This card wins games just as much as a Repulse would, but... I also might be on the Bristol Bandit. That does fix us up.
I like Repulse.
Yeah, I like Repulse too much to pass that up. Hello.
Oh, thank
okay.
you. That brought this together.
All right.
I was like, this entire time I've been like, this feels so close to being like the deck is real. And now it feels real. There it is.
Yeah, Doc.
It's true, I am here.
Yeah.
Well, now all plot cards and the colors go up in value slightly.
Yeah. Thardic. Peerless Rope. Natural. Okay. I'm actually quite happy to have one of
Naturalist
these.
is pretty good.
That's
yeah.
a good one.
I guess the actual best case scenario is that it doesn't grab a land in some situations.
Alright, I probably have to pick up the Deputy then if I want to play the black in this deck. Ooh, sweet.
Yeah, that's something legit.
And a plot creature. Cool. Get on the Goose train. It's true. Make all the treasure for the Goose. Alright. Main question with this deck is what is it doing with if it wants to actually play this third color, and I'm not certain it does.
I don't think it does. I think that this is not a deck that's playing black.
Yeah, I specifically just looking at like what our mana fixing does, or more specifically does not look like.
You grabbed you didn't grab the cactus folk that generates.
No, I did not.
That taps, right? Yeah.
The only real fixing around is like Naturalist on a whiff, and that's not reliable, or Deputy, which is also like not really where I want to be.
And on top of that, I don't really think Ratzing is ramp by virtue of making things cheaper, but
yeah, it's a different type of ramp. Ankle biter.
The Harvester is the bigger draw on that, I think. And even then, it's mainly just as a removal spell.
Do this jailbreak scheme.
I think you make your deck slightly worse by making it Sultai instead of just.
Yeah, especially like I'm looking at like cards I kind of like in here, and this is already 43, and that's without like fording or without the splasher. There's a couple other cards that like could be included as well. The Force of Vigor. I don't care as much about this when I have things like Varmint around, like we already have.
Yeah.
My worry with this deck is actually up here, and that's just like not having a Cactuar or like I don't have an over the line.
Yeah, you don't think that you actually want something really big to finish out a game, but you don't really have one.
Yeah. All right, let's make this like this so I can make some. Basically anything with plot is not leaving because of the way that this deck ended up. Oryx is like fake plot. Tumbleweed is not plot. I want. Okay. It's like this stuff sticks.
Dance of the Tumbleweed is not plotted?
No, this is free.
Oh, no. Okay.
Dance
There's
is...
a card that's very much like this that does get plotted. But...
Yeah, that one is the over here. Tumbleweed Rising.
Rising. There it is.
Yes. Could be fine in here.
Doesn't get enormous, but it is still a plot creature, and you can pull that out.
One of the things I find like that I'm not as huge on it is that it doesn't combo with the Outlaw Stitcher, because the Stitcher wants you to cast everything
played out last.
And this wants to be super last.
So like you would play to get the most value out of it. You would play the Stitcher's creature would be -2/-2 versus that, which would be comparatively also technically -2/-2, but it'd be spread across 2 bodies instead of being like 188.
Yeah. So I'm taking a look at. So our creature count's 15, non-creature's 10. And let me just kind of split this up.
And having so many counter spells, you will want to have additional mana. You can't really play down to 16.
No, like with like things like Phantom Interference and Dance, and like a lot of these are on 4. We want to make sure we hit that. So out of these, Jailbreak Scheme is like fine. The thing I like about Jailbreak Scheme is actually its bottom line, because generally this effect costs 4.
And this is slightly cheaper.
And this gets it for 3 at sorcery, which is you can get it for 3 at sorcery with some different conditionals, but generally this is 4 mana instant for that effect. Flat, nothing else. And this has the can't be blocked bit, which lets you like steal a game with like, you know, a commando in for 6 or something. I cut out, I don't even know if that's right. Decisive Denial, one of the things about it is that you need a board presence, and it is a flat fight, not a bite. So it's not like perfect at what it does. How do I feel about Seize the Secrets? Do I need just to draw 2? Like, I already have Make Your Own Luck and Repulse, and
you do have a fair amount of card draw already.
Might just be fine cutting out just a copy of that card is almost always Divination, no text, because we aren't like a crime-heavy deck.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, maybe that means like Deep Muck Desperado.
That's true. That's basically just a 3-mana 2/4.
That's a 2. Yeah, it's like 3-mana 2/4, no text, and like we have better things to be doing there. Naturalist is like just like way better. Lose the point of toughness. I'd play any number of this before I play Desperado. It's just that this will trade rather than like stay alive in a lot of instances. Okay, that's a deck.
Armored Explorer does target opponent, which means that combining those 2 cards together means 7.
It does.
So Armored Explorer commits crimes. That's what we're saying here.
Yes, absolutely. All right. Let's here's the other half of playing in Alchemy Draft is that we're going to get blown out by cards we've never even conceived of, right? Like we're gonna
cards that we don't have any idea of existing or not, because it's not as easy to even find the list of alchemy cards that exists versus just the spoiler of just the regular set. Sure, it's out there and it's not that hard to find, but even still, it's not.
I took
trivial.
I took a look through it, and there were a couple cards that like stand out in memory. My favorite is Cactus that is Emperor Thalrisian. The Hearthstone card. It just has at the end of your turn, all cards in your hand gain this spell costs 1 less, like permanently, which is hilarious to me. All right, awkward, but I'm fine with it. If we see Doc this turn, this hand turns from like Crab does a lot to help this one out too.
This lets you, Crab lets you curve out.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Okay. What's real over there? Are you Gruul or are you... Alright, we loot monger.
Okay.
So discard a card, heist target opponent's library.
And that fully steals it from your deck, right? Like it removes it from your deck.
Yeah, and it takes it face down so we don't get to know what it is. They discarded a weave, so our opponent is Alchemy, Super Alchemy, 4-color theft. that's just what's going on over here is 4-color Alchemy theft.
So Heist is even more annoying than...
This is just first strike. Oof. Alright, that's a...
Oh.
Yeah, that's not... That's not normal with
of just a red mana 2-card with a 2/2 with upside. It just has first strike. That's true. That's a powerful red creature. Didn't think about that.
Alright, let's go ahead and just discard a forest. Next turn we get to Commando. They've missed a land drop.
And they can't attack into the crab still. They can attack into the crab map.
I would just death touch that. So this steals. This is a coercion or a spy. You know, Thoughtseize-esque. It can, however, grab a.
It does the exile into grave thing.
Yes.
Okay. Neat.
If you don't choose a card from the hand, you can
dumpster apply. Gotcha.
Yeah. Hello.
See, I like that. It's weird, but like, so long as it's interacting with your opponent's exile like that, and only like that, I like it. They want to kill the crab with
it's
-3, fine,
-3. Oh, our fight spell.
Okay.
Okay. They wanted
That's a card they
wanted
it
to
stole the effect. So
yeah, they wanted to play it to get the treasure. Well, we get Commando and. What do I want with the Commando? I think this thing's leaving. I'm just debating how. You know what?
goodbye.
Let's, if you want to redraw that, you can redraw that. Bottom of deck.
Understandable. Most of the time, that's preferable to top of deck.
Yeah. Tapped land.
They finally got out of their land debt, but it had to be a tapped land, so... They've had some level of gas, but...
Yeah, and their hand is clearly all, -5, -5. That'll do it.
Alright. That still isn't that bad. You still have plays.
Yeah.
Can they deal with just a 3/3 flyer, do you think?
Can they deal with just a 4/3 flyer?
That's fair. You have one more mana, you'd be able to play down the Rocket's Entertainer and plot that. And that would be
Yeah,
nice
that's
as
what
a
I was
combo,
thinking about, but I don't have that. I'm just gonna play a 4/3 flyer. Then, like, next turn I can Entertainer Goose. Okay, they're getting out of their hole.
Assumedly, their hand of 4 cards is all gas.
Yeah,
because
they've missed land
likely
drops for
play
so
all of it
long.
now.
Yeah, like the hope is that it's like either just like some creatures that we. Yeah, okay, that's
Okay.
Damn,
That's deal withable.
it's pretty good.
Although, yeah, for a striker with mercenaries is really good.
Yes. Well,
So you could send that Goose on an adventure now, and then like you get to cast it later on,
Yep.
and still get a container bonus.
yeah, which instant. So I'm just gonna win.
Adventure has a good mechanical like side into this. Turns out. Consider how much of this set is casting from exile, and that's a different way to cast from exile. So. They're gonna do the first strike, lose first strike check, aren't they? Quick draw.
I think I'm okay with them spending it here rather than on like the brute.
That's fair. Or just trade. That's okay.
All right.
You need the island?
What's that?
No. Oh, right. Discard 2. Right. My
Yeah,
bad. Sorry.
discard 2. I'm just thinking about Doc,
Doc
because
versus,
Doc is
Make Your Own
playable.
Luck.
But Make Your Own Luck is a draw 3. Is the
I think the Make Your Own Luck is better. Yeah.
okay.
As nice Doc is, and of course, as much as I like to goof about it, yeah, it's Make Your Own Luck is a lot of card advantage that you would not have without it.
Damn. Goose. So Goose can tangle with the Lootmonger.
Well, it can't, because the Lootmonger is going to get the +1 from that mercenary like every time.
Yeah, but like our token gives our Goose +1. Okay, we're just stealing.
That only triggers while it's in exile.
Also triggers. if
Oh,
it's in-
also triggers in exile. Okay. I read that as only.
All right, how bad's that?
Best case scenario is probably Doc or Lock, honestly.
Well, I should have played the lamp. No, okay, they just had the Heist counterspell.
Okay.
That's annoying.
I see where you're talking about needing to have played the land, though, because there's a number of, unless you play 2.
Yeah,
counters.
the idea behind not playing that land was trying to disguise things, but the moment I didn't do that, I thought, they stole my counterspell.
Yeah. In this case, they did steal your counterspell, but it was one that didn't matter how much you had left.
Yeah, they still have 2 live cards. Again, they've been missing land drops, so every Like, we know that as long as they're not playing lands, they're just getting things that are live. Our defense right now is the fact that Ankle Biter trades with the Hellspur.
Okay.
Okay.
That's rough.
Yeah, that means they're attacking with the Loot Monger every turn now.
Yep. All right. That's a reasonably powerful creature that can kill them in the air.
Yeah. That's a good one to have. I don't know that we can catch anything in combat, but, like, maybe we can.
It's a 5/3, so it's not gonna be able to catch the Loot Monger.
They're almost out of cards. Okay,
Vial Smasher.
Final card, Vial Smasher. Alright.
Alright, so all you need is blockers on the ground for a bit, basically. Because you kill them in 3 turns. 2 more turns in this.
Yeah. However, like, the Hellspur Brute has Trample. I'm a little worried that we're just not able to get through this.
Yeah, that's fair.
They're like mono red splash everything here, huh? What the hell? Right, this is the card that is Jace hitting Proft with a lead pipe. It's what the art should be, but that's not what it is, sadly. That card has trampled.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. They had a lot of removal.
Yeah.
That's the number one thing there. They killed like everything you played.
That and like being able to steal.
Yeah, they got the card advantage of stealing from you.
Yeah.
And specifically stealing from you and getting things that they could play.
Well, one of the things that's quite powerful there is that not only are you getting like card quality, but you're also getting like very powerful. Crap makes this fine. You're getting like, what if I no longer have my bomb in my deck?
Yes. You're getting the annoying quality of occasionally milling your opponent's like biggest important stuff.
Yeah.
Except you don't even get to know that happened.
All right. Well, this is full pass. Crab again is here to help us. So we're holding up a counter spell. All right. Crab. Oh, goodness. Okay. Reanimate to the grave. Oh, no. I'm gonna believe that the top card of our deck is just a land. Okay. Okay, alright. Oh, shit. I'm full passing. We're leaving up 3 steps. Oh, no, they... Oh... They know that we know. They also have 8 cards in hand. Okay, they did draw land, though. This game state is terrifying. I hate this. I love this. Like, if I ever drop my shields, we lose. If they ever draw a way to break through my shields. They could just play other cards. I won't counter them.
They could.
Please, deck. I'm begging you. Play anything. Uh-huh. I've discarded 5 cards to hand size.
That's pretty rough.
Alright, okay. Alright. We can start working now. Yep. Whenever Emerald Collector deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. When you draw your 3rd card in a turn, get a Mox, and then we have like a Root Walla-esque. Like I mean, it's not like a once per turn pump, but it's a once per turn pump.
Yeah, it's a fundamentally once per turn pump because changing its base power. Unless its base power and toughness was changed again, it's once per turn pump.
I think that thing's terrifying. I don't know what y'all are talking. If that's what the least exciting looks like, oh god, you know, like this ain't resolving. Well, they have a counter spell. They just use it to counter when I counter their thing. Ah, okay.
Oh, but it pumps their creature.
Yeah,
okay.
all right.
That's understandable.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're gonna get punched by a 5/5 is what that means.
Like, I think the mono white collector looks kind of like junk to me compared to this IMO. Mostly because this is an Ophidian that also is a 4/4 that also makes a mana and also costs 2 mana.
And it fixes for its own activated ability.
Alright, so if they draw one more, they get their Mox. Okay, so we have to call. We have to call on this, and if they have their own counterspell, we're toasted, but okay.
Okay, you got it.
That's step 1 to not losing this game. I haven't figured out step 2 yet.
Spireless Paladin is a reasonably large guy.
Yeah.
That's something.
I think Outlaw Stitcher is my actual line. Alright. Not even pumping this for like this could hit me for 5, you know? When thieving aiming deals combat damage to a player, heist target. Okay. One thing I'm noticing is that like we have a kind of normal deck with a Goose. Other players do not have normal decks with Geese. Crush it. All right. And then my belief is they didn't have a counterspell. So my belief was they didn't have a counterspell because if they had a counterspell, they would have countered the counter that got Railway Brawler. Good old Mystic Snake. Is this just normal in the set?
Straight up Mystic Snake.
Where's this in?
Let's check.
I don't think this is in standard. I don't think this is in... It can't be an Alchemy. It's a reprint. It is. That's all I know.
It's a special guest, apparently. Magic.
Oh, right,
the Junction special guest.
Right,
alongside Stoneforge Mystic.
The Stoneforge Mystic spot. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, just desert. That's where Mystic Snake is from.
Anyway, they have a...
Yeah. So the bonus sheet.
Alright, I somehow feel like we're not getting out of this one.
All you gotta do is beat them with your own Mystic Snakes. I'll cast another spell anytime. No.
They aren't even pumping the Emerald Collector. Well.
Man. Counter spells just keep on coming. Okay, well, to be fair, where this game was lost was off the back of
yeah, this one
5 turns in a row of having to discard a hand size.
Yes. I trusted in the crab, and I would trust in the crab every time. Again? I'm sorry. Back for more. Okay.
This deck is quite strong.
Back for more. All right, I'm like 10 types of dead. Did you know that back for more with Mystic Snake sounds like a hell of a deck? That rules.
It's so funny getting, did you have fun in this match after that one specifically?
Did you enjoy it? I always do. There's only one circumstance in a game of Magic where I don't enjoy it, and that's where I lose to my own play mistake.
Yeah, and it's given that there was no
mistake, I was the same thing
that happened that game.
The moment
it was just your opponent beating you out and your deck not performing.
I enjoyed the part of the game where we went draw go for 7 turns and our opponent didn't do anything.
That's fair. That's in its own way. That actually is a fun thing to have happen in the middle of a draft format. It's not common.
All right. Right, this is the art that has the ghost matter cacti on it. We're out of a okay. Never mind. We're good.
This is kind of non-functional. You just need to draw green and it's okay, but even if you did, it's not the strongest hand.
Like Goose fixes it entirely though, right? Like
That's true, I guess. Yeah. I didn't think about the adventure.
I'm willing to try it. Oh, we're gonna get murdered before this game
We're
even
gonna
starts.
Get hit by
1 mana 2/2.
aggressive black, huh?
Yeah, 1 mana 2/2s, and then Vile. Are we Vile smashing? Is that our fault? If we got Vile Smasher as a follow-up, we just get the fall over dead. But if they at least like pass on 2, then we're not in like the worst scenario, you know. Is that the draw? That's the draw. Okay, and everything's fixed. Perfect. These, yeah. Those are the Neon Dynasty ones. I think we're just gonna go ahead and play out a 2/2. No thanks. Okay. I'm fine with this. This lets me leave up Repulse and a counter spell, and a Goose if nothing else. Like I have many options available to me at instant speed now. So,
which is what this deck should.
I'm surprised that they didn't.
Place.
What?
Interesting. That's
what?
not until end of turn. That just is a thing. No, it isn't.
No, it's still end of turn.
Yeah.
No.
Curious that they decided to do that. You may as well just repulse them, yeah?
Yeah. Like, if they want to draw a land, they can just Tormenting Voice. I think that was just them attacking for damage. Sure, that's fine. Swings.
The kanji for mountain might be the easiest kanji to remember. In
Okay, so this one is I get to... We just get to get in for full and, like, hold up counters at this stage. Like, whatever they do that looks, you know, terrifying or something, we can just... You know what? I don't want you to have a treasure token.
This is what this deck is supposed to do.
They finally are playing the highway robbery! I swear they just needed to use this 3 turns ago to get them out of the land hole they were in. And they're dead. That fight spell, by the way, like Primal
This
Might.
is the power of it. It's a powerful pump spell to kill your opponent as well.
Yeah. That card was a lot in its first printing as well, so it's interesting. So that bonus sheet, the like newspaper cards, each of the specific design on this sheet is that every single card is a crime,
Right.
and that means that like some colors that's a little harder to design for than others.
Yeah, because green does not target your opponent's stuff nearly as often as most other colors.
And some of them get to be really funky. Like Back for More is a crime because it has the fight on the like secondary that comes in. Reanimate is on the sheet because Reanimate can target your opponent's
graveyard. Of course.
Yes. You're unlikely to do that. Yeah,
Necromancy is only partially a crime.
Yes. It's only a crime if it's unethically sourced bodies from, the graveyard across the street.
If you're stealing cadavers, that's no go. But if you have your own already,
odd fat B. How dare you react my grandpa?
Okay, so dance. Costs how much?
It's Untamed Wilds 3. If I draw any untapped land, if we draw any untapped land, we get to like put down Loan Shark.
This land is completely on if you do.
Yeah,
it's very good if you. Well, it's okay.
This is a bet I'm basically always willing to make because what we're looking at here.
Statistically, it is reasonably likely to draw a land in the first 3 draws.
That's
how it is.
I talk about this. We're on the play. Our deck contains 15 lands out of 33 cards. That's about a 46% chance on each of those draws, which gives us a little over 70% for land 3 after 2 turns, which I'm willing to take that bet. That isn't one I'll always take because it depends on like the relative power of the hand. This one is a lot worse in that like it has nothing functional if we whiff on it. But like it's one of those things that I don't backdate, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. You can't hindsight look at this kind of thing and say that that was a mistake.
Yeah, I can evaluate it on
that's relying on knowledge of random draws.
Yeah, I can evaluate it on the front half side, which is that that like having no plays might be more of a reason to push us to 6. But the relative power of what this deck would do with the 3rd land, also our opponent's just not doing anything about this, which is nice. Okay, so next turn I get to play Doc plus,
like Loan Shark.
Yeah, hey Doc.
And you have Decisive Denial as backup if you got countered or something, yeah.
I think we go with this one because it's the most gained out of...
It's the most power to be put.
Yeah, the thing here is that I think their hand is 5 removal spells.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea is that next turn, I'm going to go Commando Loan Shark and try to overwhelm, like, their ability to do anything about... Wow, alright. That card's always a pain in the ass. I hate this thing. It's so good. I don't know what I want to drop for that. Decisive Denial kills it outright. Primal Might kills it outright.
Healing Sphinx. It's a oh wait, no, you don't have that. Sorry, I thought you had to do this in your hand for some reason. Paladin gains a little bit of life. Sphinx can kill it. Yeah, it's Paladin probably.
I'm gonna go Paladin.
You're about to draw a card off Loan Shark, you know that.
Yeah.
They're not hitting you as hard with the card like disadvantages as they think they are.
Yeah, and then we get to play you. Alright, I would like to draw another...
Thinking about Primal Mining for X equals 0.
Yeah.
They're tapped out. It would kill it.
I kind of want to take this now because, like, it seems pretty clear to me this spell would never resolve if they untap. The problem is I feel like they just, like, fight. They just immediately, like, back for more or whatever, but we'll see how that plays. If I can untap, we're in a much better position, though.
Oasis Gardener is not particularly threatening as a play.
No. And this is nice. We just get to push. Alright. They get their Mercenary. Oasis Gardener's, like, fine fixing. This card's, like, fine. Alright. So here we get Entertainer. And we get to leave up counter spell / fight spell. In case... And we get to play Sphinx at end step if things go, like...
If they don't play anything that matters.
Yep. I'm sorry.
Plains.
Plains.
That's 4 colors.
You were on
and
double
they just
white.
Tap the plane specifically.
Yeah.
Okay. No. Very nice way to do a counter spell here.
Yeah, let's not. Let's pass on that one. Alright, then, yeah, okay.
Still have a way to do it. Worth noting. You draw the Varmint, you can get your 5/5 back. It wasn't cast from your hand.
Mm-hmm. Well, time to make our own luck. I'll decline.
Well, there's only one thing to plot here.
I'll decline on that
but
one, thanks.
You don't want them to know about it, makes sense.
Well, no, you can't plot it instant, or you can't.
Oh, you can't plot a spree card because you can't pay the.
You can play the additional costs. Plot is at sorcery speed. Like playing the card off of the plot is at sorcery speed.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
It's not nothing because this card's incredibly strong. Is the part that's very good. It's fine to plot it if it was like, you know, it would be fine to plot it, but
Okay. So all of those colors are real.
yeah. Yeah, so if you ever plot a, there's the Aven that, like, puts a card in plot. If you ever do that for, a counterspell, it's just dead.
Yeah, I earnestly thought plot was whenever you could cast the spell that you plotted.
Hey, it's back for more. No. No thanks. Alright, anyway. We're good. Oh, alright. Journey on the fake one.
You were correct about your opponent being full of removal. They just didn't happen to have it at all in their hand at that moment.
Yeah. Cool. Perfect.
Nice. Ideal situation.
A
off this
plus.
card. Would it be better to... So if you put Sphinx down, you could get +1/+1 on both of them. But
Yeah.
that also...
I'm gonna choose not to do that. We're gonna pass. I'm gonna just do the Sphinx at instant speed.
Yeah.
If they have a kill spell for it, they have a kill spell for it, but... Okay.
Okay.
Nah.
That kind of tells your opponent you don't have any creatures in hand. The rebuild.
And I don't want to bounce the Oasis Gardener, because that doesn't do anything.
Yeah, it gains them life if they replay it, so...
Well, that's actually fine. This is actually really good.
Because you can repulse it.
Yeah, I can just if they steal a creature off us, we just repulse it.
Yeah, that is in fact a yes.
Okay.
They still get the zombie,
Which
unfortunately.
sucks because I want to repulse the zombie, but that's fine. We're just gonna sorcery speed it then, so I get a better zombie. Hold on, let me double check Heist to make sure this isn't like a copy of a card that's fake or something. Oh, well, double checking.
You may cast
Okay,
that card.
It is that card. Okay,
It is in fact your copy directly exactly of Outlaw Stitcher. So
have to double
not,
check because it's
yeah, it's not a fake version of the card. It just is that card.
Here, give me the Outlaw Stitcher, please.
I hope you draw something really cheap.
That's
pretty
incredible.
Yeah, that's perfect. That lets you make a 6/6, right?
Yes.
And you can get your 5/5 back.
Yeah.
And these are creatures that are entering the battlefield this turn.
Yes. Give me that, please. And this did not enter with us spending mana.
That's a 6/6 now. Your opponent is dead. Not quite yet, but very close.
Yeah. Happy to have the Jin of a backup plan, but we're probably not going to need it.
That is 13 lands on the field. You have 2 in your grave. So that's 15 out of your 17 lands.
I have 3 in my grave.
Oh, sorry. So that's almost all of your lands then.
Yeah. No
Makes
need.
sense. You only have 6 cards left in deck.
Alright. 1 out of 6. Yeah, no need to play this because, like, the only way our opponent wins is a Wrath of God, so why play into it? Okay.
And you already conjured the Wrath of God, so.
Yeah. I ain't gonna say they don't have a second copy of a Wrath of God in a greed deck like this. Like, and even a Wrath of God might not be something they need. Like, just having another copy of Back for More for the Hollow Marauder does a good job of, like, sweeping up on a lot of what we have. Anywho.
Very satisfied with that game.
Yes. That one was very much like our opponent just not taking action for 4 turns was a huge part of that. Like, they played a 1-drop and then didn't play a card till 6, but like, their hand was just all reactive removal. Ooh, this looks...
This is a fantastic
Holy shit.
hand. Yeah, now we're talking.
My only miss would be, like, planes over a forest here so that 3 steps is on, but, like, we already have a counter and a repulse anyway, so... I love this Esper
Very nice Esper Island,
island
yeah.
here.
Chippy art is always good.
Yeah, specifically, it's the very flat clouds
Yes.
that I like on it. The cut looks like they're cloud cubes. This forest I picked because it reminds me of Jinteki, the Netrunner faction, for obvious reasons. Alright, we're keeping this.
It's one of the better hands your deck could start with. I think Goose would improve over Crab, probably.
Yeah. That'd be like a better threat. Alright. But luckily, Crab can also, like, filter out this stuff. I think our opponent has something. They did they phase transitioned rather than passed. What they got? Oh, these are cute.
No, oh, that's a really nice, yeah.
Robber. Okay. I'm just passing. Thanks.
There's a new secret layer that I don't understand the theme of, and simply seems to be take a look into my dark and twisted mind.
Is that the?
It's very funny.
Is that the one with
one
like
where it's all alternating
comic
caps?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the Doomblade and the.
Yeah. They're shooting our crab.
You can't.
How fucking dare they?
You can't shoot the crab.
How dare you?
I'm not gonna let you shoot the crab because then they don't get the, you know, token off this. They have to play it just for... Yeah. And they're gonna... Alright, so here I think my play is play out Ankle Biter. It, you know, drops crab, but... It keeps up the rest of our hand. And I do want this in play. Alright, 5th land. Wow. Sultai real popular today, huh? Hey, Doc. Alright. I'm just gonna pass here. We're just gonna let Crab keep improving the hand. We've got 3 steps ahead full up. The full Cryptic. So if they go for a 5 or 6, we get to really crush them out. Oh, they're just playing the Robber. I think that's fine. This 4-3 stat line matches very poorly against what we currently have. Alright. Nothing else. Wow, okay. Interesting. What do they have in hand? They had nothing instant speed there. Okay, Contractor, which is sack a creature, draw 2, lose 2. Sack your 4-3. Why would you sack the 4-3 instead of itself? Does it say... They must have a recursion piece? Bird, okay. Huh. Yeah, I think you just sack itself instead. They still have a good hand, though. We're gonna go... Sphinx down sorcery. Loan Shark for the card. Get in for 1. Alright. So Stoic Sphinx does a good job of, like, blocking that Aven, because it's hexproof. We're not dropping those shields. We can't drop those shields. I would like for them to not tempt on it, like not to push, because I don't like the idea of having to call the bluff. But we have a lot of instant speed cards left in our disposal. 3 steps ahead, copying the Sphinx, for instance, is very good. Okay. Okay. Alright, whatever I do, don't drop shields, just pass. Just, we're not gonna deal with them having, like, the assassin here. Because I feel like that's the most likely... Oh, no, they have the... Oh, God. Alright. Well...
I had to go use the restroom and I come back and you have a full board and your opponent has nothing.
That's correct. They went for end-step cathartic operation to buy back their entire graveyard and, you know, to buy back their graveyard and search too.
And it got countered
And-
to...
Yeah, we were able to counter and then Sphinxes.
Well, they built back up pretty well, actually.
This is operate under pushing for like a threat here.
Yeah. You want to kill your opponent. So.
Yeah.
Gonna leave up repulse or go for the second pump?
We're gonna go with leave up the repulse. Just in case. I want something in case of, like, again, a Wrath of God is something that kills us. And
Yep.
they just played their 8th land. There is a card called Overwhelming Forces in this set that I have to do a little bit of respect for. Because it's fucked up. It's a fucked up
I'm
magic
seeing
card.
the card's text right now, and
Yeah.
it's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a
And,
fucked up magic card where, like, it's a one-sided Wrath of God that also draws you a million cards.
Draws you 4 cards in this case.
So-
Could have been 5.
So that was the thought
So-
process, was to play around, specifically to play around that. That's not Decree of Pain.
That's
'cause
not what.
Decree of
that's
Pain's
not
all
Wrath of God with
sides.
upside. Yeah, that is a yeah.
Yeah, that's a plague win for 1 less that draws you a million cards.
Yeah.
We're still gonna try to win through Stoic Sphinx.
Yeah, Stoic Sphinx and Primal Might can probably kill them if they don't have a.
Yep, that's fine.
Okay.
We'll discard the Jin.
Yep. The Primal Might can.
I want them to
still
tap
hack
out.
through that.
All right, they tapped
That's
out.
tapping out. Okay. That kills them. All right. You just need to Primal Might kill their Apollo Marauder, and you win.
Yeah, we just win. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Stoic Sphinx. No blocks. I needed them to tap out. That was pretty important. Yeah, I want to say beating an resolved overwhelming forces not by mill is pretty freaking.
It's hard for sure.
Yeah, if we didn't repulse, if I didn't hold up repulse, we would have died on the spot. Mentally going over. I don't need to think this one out as much as I'm thinking this one out. Yeah, but yeah, Overwhelming Forces is a card that, like, when I was talking about, like, if our opponent had a Wrath in last game, or, like, playing around, this was it. This was the card I'm mentally, like, putting in that place. Because, you usually don't beat it. What got hit there? I think the log? Anyway.
Has an 8-mana card that will frequently just say the words "win the game"
Yes.
on it.
generally beating that card involves like beating your opponent with mill because they drew too many. It is like Decree of Pain, but it's one-sided, which makes it sillier. It is a crime because it's target opponent. Whereas Decree would be each. And Plague Wind is 9 mana? Black 8. But yeah, it's very Dune Blast, very Final Showdown. Those cards are pretty equivalent too as well. Dune Blast and Final Showdown.
Plague Wind is 7 black.
Plague Wind is 7 black. Okay.
Yeah, so you were correct on 9.
Okay. Sure.
Get out?
Alright.
Yep.
I'm in.
Dance and Naturalist even together get you to make your own luck, so...
Yeah. With lands like this, I might not want to be, oh, interesting.
Believe Trained Arynx is the top white common creature in this set.
Yeah, so 3 power of First Strike is like nearly... Oh, that treasure might be better than the land. Okay, they're just playing this out as a body. Specifically, it's because Trained Arynx, like, aggressively, not only, like, does, like, this sort of, like, fixing, which gives you a forward momentum, but it also, like, basically can't be beat in combat.
Yeah.
3 power First Strike. Oh, do I risk the make your own luck here? I could just go Varmint Pass, leave up Decisive Denial and Repulse. I think I need to do a little bit of board presence. This
Might need a little bit of defense, yeah.
This gives me a double block on, like, the Sharpshooter.
And also a counter on Eartha Joe.
It does not. This is a negate.
Oh,
This card is...
dang. Okay.
Yeah.
She's the activate abilities doubler, right?
Yeah. Basically mercenary double.
They're attacking with the sharpshooter as well.
Yeah, I think I need to do this.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I'm thinking if I need to fight down the Merc token. Because it's going to get doubled up.
Yeah, that's going to be so much first strike to get through.
Yeah,
No, that's right. It's a 1/1. It's a 3/3, so like it doesn't matter.
This is gonna be fine. Yeah, this is gonna be fine.
I also was doing the math of like, wait, is it possible for that to kill both of them if you did that? No, it isn't. Not in this case.
All right, and we get what I wanted, which was this. Hello.
You can make yourself a big boy.
All right.
6/6. Now that can beat that Arynx in combat.
Yeah. Leaving naturals back so that if they do... Ha! Ha! Advisor and a beast. They don't have a... All right. Okay, and now we get to rebuild. The Goose will come and help us here.
Yep.
But Commando, like, now we have board under our control, and now it's just a matter of, like, I'm probably going to have to start being a little aggressive against this to whittle down there. Interesting.
Okay, so that's a one spell per turn.
Yes.
So that's an anti-plot, is what that is
Yeah.
a lot of the time.
Yeah. So they can burn it to beat my Commando up. They can burn it for 5 to my Dome. Okay.
Okay, they're gonna kill your Commando. Would you like to repulse it to save?
Oh, why didn't they go for my face? I didn't realize that oh, they still can go to my face.
Oh, but they didn't. They chose for those to
What?
go to creatures.
Yeah, I understand. I just...
There's the geese.
Okay. Let's get out of here.
Delicious. Ooh, spooky.
Yeah,
The ankle biter is also a good draw, actually.
I'm stunned that wasn't just 10 to my dome attack.
Yeah, that... They're probably feeling that right now as well, of like, we could have put them on 1 instead.
Alright, what do you... I want to leave up the 3 steps ahead because I'm afraid they have another breaker. If they chose the route that they took, I feel like there's another breaker coming.
Man, you, can't attack, huh?
Not yet. Next turn we can. But they probably have... They have 3 cards in hand. They have to have like a
'Cause 3 steps ahead can copy the goose.
That is correct.
Okay. It's a perpetual bonus, so I think that is a copyable value.
I think I want the goose anyway because that's like 2-turn clock in the air.
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh, it's not.
Oh, it's also a
weird.
legend.
Okay.
Oh. I didn't even think about that.
Oh, fuck, really?
Well.
Didn't... Why is it... I guess it has a name.
It does have a name. I didn't think Big Goose would be a legend. That's on me for not double checking that. I just thought 7 in the air. That's fine.
When I see the word Albiorix, I'm going to be honest. The thing that goes in my head is that's a scientific like title. Let's.
No, that's on me. I should have a 6/6 here. That's.
And I get it. It's an alchemy card anyway. It's easy to overlook some facts of it.
All right, I think we need to start moving in. Goose, start the clock. What? Oh, no.
Answer Albiorix. That's what I was thinking.
Oh, no.
Blue?
What did that open?
Blue. Second Earth. Wait.
Okay.
They also legend rule themselves. Okay.
Okay. All right. One hand washes the other. That's fine. They want the token.
They saw the. Yeah,
They
want
just-
the token. It's just. I think it's fun that they legend ruled in response to you doing the same thing. So it's it's
fair.
yeah, exactly. That's honor, is what that is. Your opponent is very honorable. Okay, now you're dead.
Yeah, it's fine.
Wait. No, you can Phantom Interference, can't you, to counter this? Or is that a counter?
Count unless they pay 2.
Okay.
And Eartha Joe is free to do the thing.
Yeah.
If they pay 2, can they activate it? They absolutely can, yes. Okay. Damn. What? What? Oh my god!
Okay, now it turned to be.
Hold on! Hold on! I'm gonna stop you right there, but Okay, you know, just having 20 damage and burn spells is an effective way to have your Boros deck have a finisher.
It's true. Yeah.
Uh,
That was a lot of damage to throw in someone's face. In this case, getting the 6/6 wouldn't have mattered at all. But
I would not be attacking with it because I still needed the ground pushed
exactly.
out. It
So-
may have had me be more aggressive with my Goose, like getting in and trying to push for those push damage a bit earlier. But with the way that plays, I still think I am that 1 at 2 on them. Still, that a bit that's easily
Yeah.
it's a Goose.
Answer, by the way, ANCSER is the scientific family of genera of goose, which means Answer albiorix extremely to me feels like just the scientific name of a kind of goose.
And then let's learn about some more alchemy cards, shall we? Oh, wait, where?
You just had it.
Hey, Riku.
Riku of many paths.
Yeah, okay, I didn't.
Oh, you didn't claim the wins yet.
Yeah, because
Okay.
that wasn't okay. That's what I'm after. All right. So taking a look at
God, there's so many rares you just opened off of 5 packs.
so. This is the art on this is Jace taking control of his body back after being stabbed with Elspeth's
right.
sword, and then being stabbed with Elspeth's sword gave him control for long enough for him to assert mental control, which creates a cool skeleton above you. I think you can see.
Because Jace, he is mentally controlling his own mind, is how his way of responding to Phyrexianization went.
Yeah. Perpetually loses all abilities. There's another white card like this that I remember people playing that's like...
Silence target creature, deal full damage to it.
Yeah. Also cycles, which, Grave Expectations. We saw this out of a couple opponents using this as just a draw out of us to steal one of our more powerful cards. I believe as far as the set goes, there's a point where Gissa is digging up a bunch of corpses and realizes, wait a minute, why are there this many corpses here? This is supposed to be a
new plane.
Why the hell are there 10,000 bodies here? I'm not going to complain about getting them, but what are they doing here?
Yeah, because up until very recently, there was apparently no human/sentient life on the plane, and then when people showed up, the cactuses kind of realized that they were sentient.
They woke up. They were sleeping.
Yeah.
Thieving Haven. This thing is wild at 3, by the way.
Reminds me visually of Ledger Shredder a lot.
Yeah, there's the hat.
Actually, it's also mechanically a little bit like Ledger Shredder. Now I look at it.
Yeah, this thing's really each point on this is a strong bit. So Thieving Magpie is a below the curve at this stage card. That's a 1/3 for 4 that draws a card on hit, and so you're generally going to see more than that on a card. This has the extra point of toughness, the -1 on it, and the heist, as well as its own pump ability. That 4th point of toughness, I think, is the biggest thing. Well, I mean, other than that 3 mana. Horse.
Yeah, it's just a horse.
Whenever Switchgrass Grazer attacks, it deals 1 damage to any target. If it was saddled and it hit a creature, that creature gains can't block and can't clean damage.
Interesting.
This
Turn
is
damage permanent on this.
Yeah, there's a couple cards in Alchemy that have had this text, the can't clean damage. There was a case in the last set that had this text. And then there's another card in one of the previous Alchemy that was just like, look, you're playing on Hearthstone rules, like.
Yeah, I was about to say basically Beminator 4 just out of inflicts Hearthstone on a creature, because you also don't get to choose for it to block anymore as well. Not even just the damage.
This is also like, even without like that whole line of text of like, if I just literally ignored everything past whenever this attacks deal 1 damage. This
4 mana 4/4 haste.
4 mana 4/4 haste that pings.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Uh-huh. We saw Loot Monger earlier. This card, hefty.
That's very good.
This thing
turns out.
Also, again, uncontested first strike is a lot rarer these days. You know, usually it's while attacking or some activation or like not on your opponent's turn, because in general,
uncontested double strike is more common than first strike.
Yeah, because like,
double strike encourages them to put it on creatures with low power is the thing. So it's not actually as frustrating on defense as it is as first strike is on defense.
Yeah,
because first strike tends to be put on creatures with big power.
They end up giving first strike a lot more these days on combat tricks. That's where it lives in more instances. Like you get things like the. Do we have a copy of it down here? No, we don't. The 1 mana trick that's like, okay. Emerald Collector. More.
What are you doing? Are you just kind of force pushing away some sand?
There's a tumbleweed just off frame to the right. Right? Like there's a tumbleweed that's just about to collide with the bubble.
I guess that's a non-creature spell. Is the tumbleweeds?
Dance of Tumbleweeds is a non-creature spell, so you know.
Yeah.
More unconditional first strike. Paladin-ish text. Okay, this card's like real. Funnily, it's almost like, again, like not quite. There's like on these cards we see a lot less like necessity of the like digitalness of the format. Like these are doable in, like, the reason Heist isn't a mechanic in paper is because
cards that you heist go
it's very easy to walk away with them.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rum.
Exiling something that your opponent has randomly out of their deck, creating a copy of it. That's probably something that they could do, but not something that is just the card.
Generally, they like to tie it to something where it's Oblivion Ring, so you know, okay, X is Y, and like, okay, this is that. Oh, here's another collector. This one's messed up.
This can repeatedly give something flashback.
Yeah, obviously, like when you flashback a card at Exile, so like you can't like choose the same card over and over again. But
you can choose multiple things.
Yeah, however many copies of Resolute Rejection are in my graveyard, I'm playing them all. You know, like. Yeah. Let's see. The bits we have for them are the art, and they also have flavor text, so that's as much as we have. Like, they're all, like, set on, like, red into blue, or, like, this is, anger punishes the arrogant, as in, like,
they're enemy colorsing in one direction,
is
what it is, and then it's, like, the color that is the collector itself is the one winning and collecting the other color.
Yeah, like, so it's a kind of a color pie look. We on the thematics of them. Hi, Pariah.
Rankle. Well, I'm glad you're still alive.
Rankle. Yeah.
This motherfucker.
So 3 mana Rankle. Rankle has flying haste as long as your opponent controls no creatures. When Rankle enters the battlefield, pay 1 life. If you do, Each player discards a card and sacrifices a creature. Whenever a player discards a card, Rankle gets +1/+0 perpetually.
It's a piece of shit.
So Rankle here is likely a 3/3 flyer for 3 that you can shoot, or like you can edict plus the draw. Rankle's cards have been symmetric in effect that we've seen, and match all of these actually. Like, we're just missing like the draw off the first. Oh, this is. Okay, so I talked about cards as like epilogues or to other sets that were in the cycle of standard here. Rankle being a Eldraine card. Saint Elenda here is the leader of the vampire faction in Caverns. If I remember right, because there's a whole scene where like there's a number of the like different factions like having a meeting, and then the pirate admiral walks in and says, "Hey, I've got a bunch of guns. We're opening our own nation. You're recognizing it." And everyone just goes, "You got it." Yeah. When Saint Elenda enters the battlefield, conjure a card from the spellbook. Fate's Fetters, Cleric. You can cast it for free. Invoke the Divine. Oh, they all gain 4 life, and they cast for free. I see. Okay, that's nifty. The early spellbooks I really disliked for memory reasons. And even the later spellbooks I dislike for memory reasons. The spellbook is like, these are the cards associated with it. And a lot of the earlier ones were like, draft a card from the spellbook, and the spellbook is 15 random cards. And you're like, how am I supposed to remember this? Whereas like Saint Elenda here is like, you get to conjure one of these 4, and it's removal, body, disenchant, card draw. So you can kind of shorthand the card to be come in, gain 4 life, and either draw a card, arrest, make a 3/2, or disenchant, which is more of a Titan of Industry. So, and a lot of 4s. So like that's a way of using the spell books to like represent a modal card in an interesting way. Like, where's Alchemy Thunder Junction? Could Saint Elenda be a commander? Yes, there is there's a commander format on Arena that's just called Brawl. It's 60 card commander decks instead of 100. But this card does not exist in paper, so you would have to like make a proxy of it. This is so making alchemy cards in paper would cause some like play pattern issues with some of the mechanics, but Saint Elendra would just need you to have these 4 cards on standby. So like it wouldn't be that bad to like if you wanted to build a deck around Saint, around Elendra. Yeah, Brawl's 1v1 because the client's 1v1.
Yeah.
Solitary Defiance is one of my favorites on the bits. This is again, we're looking at like the Jace breaking out of Phyrexian control. This is him alone after being stabbed. A nifty card. There was a mechanic in Avacyn Restored that was built around like controlling one creature that was fun to play with, but it was fun, like kind of fun to experiment with, but had the problem of you lose to 1 removal spell. The Samurai deck in Neo Kamigawa had a similar play pattern issue. But 7 million commander that doesn't win the game just on the spot is a little risky. That's not what commander's about, though. Like, who cares? Like, if I'm building this, I'm building a deck that's all about trying to make as big an avatar creature as possible. What? Okay, hold on. You got the wagon wheels? When Wagon Wrecker deals damage to a player, a random non-land card in that player's hand gains. When you cast the spell, lose 2 life. That's cute. Tamio, I can
Why is a merfolk collecting the jet?
This
jet is petrified wood.
So this is a merfolk from this is a Ixalan merfolk.
An Ixalan merfolk. Yeah.
You know, just
not a problem with it being a green creature.
Yeah.
I mean,
oh, why
are you digging like going underwater for jet?
You know, that just is out there in the bog.
Okay, I guess in a bog is more reasonable, but
yeah, 4 or more cards in the graveyard, and then you can rebuy a creature with a finality counter, which is it exiles on death again. There was a question about specifically about Tamio as a character, and Tamio's not around because Tamio's dead. But Tamio's adopted rat son who is like, rather than using magic around like books and stories, is using it around like little like gadgets and little drones and bits. It's nifty.
Something that I like thinking about and pointing out is that every single hero character out of Kamigawa has been black aligned. Except for the Wandering Emperor, I guess. But
sure,
every other one has been black.
Right. Kaito and Umezawa and Nashi here. And
yeah.
Jet Collector, Jesse Zane, Fanebringer, which when you cast a snake, put an Ambush Viper on the top 6 of your deck, and that Ambush Viper has, when it comes in, draw a card. So you just keep making snakes.
Good snake.
Yeah. Ambush Viper is a real card, and it's an excellent card. So we get all the collectors. Ruby Collector.
Yeah, Ruby, this is the least fun one.
Yeah, like, whatever. The problem I have with this one is that, like, 1 mana 1/1 with this text is so, like, below.
It dies instantly.
Yeah.
You can't activate this more than once.
Yeah. Like, especially, like, you attack with 3 creatures. Guess who's dying?
Yeah,
it's
the
you.
Ruby Collector.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. Let's read this other one. Prairie Survivalist. Being in combat on your turn, target creature you control gets perpetually it's +1/+0, then choose a card in your hand perpetually. Oh. Okay. She just knows how to run around those big old tumbleweeds, those wings. This is like Luminarch Aspirant, but like evasive and no toughness. That's actually quite strong. And this is the card I was talking about earlier. The Bloomin' Cactus Folk. 5/5 with at the end of your turn, all non-lands in your hand gain. This costs 1 less, which isn't directly Emperor Thaurisian from Hearthstone, because you can't reduce a card to 0 unless it's colorless. But
right,
you know. Also, on the cards that are epilogue.
Hey, Teysa. She's a. Oh my god, this is a card in Arena that you have to scroll to see all of the text on.
Does that 1 stack? Yeah, that'll stack. Okay,
so
Teysa back. So Teysa is a card again that probably could have been experience counters if they wanted to print this, but we'll go through. I love the design on this Teysa, though. So when Teysa comes in, make a 1/1 flyer and then pump the counter. Spirits you control get +X/+0, where X is your count. So, and at the beginning of your end step, exile Teysa. If you do, on your next upkeep, put Teysa back into play with haste.
Yeah.
So if you're familiar with
intensity is a permanent effect, if I remember.
yes,
right.
yeah, that's
it never goes away.
Yeah. So the idea on this card, design-wise, is that it's a callback to like the older Ghost Council cards, very specifically the 5/5 that would blink and come back every turn, just draining 2. And that one also came back with it. Yes. Rather than just Ghost Council, which was a 4/4 that could sack creatures to blink. But also, like, Teysa brings an army. Like, Teysa, this is a dangerous card. Teysa died, but she's the leader of the Orzhov.
But she's the Orzhov. Yeah, she's the leader of the Orzhov, which is led by ghosts.
Like,
it doesn't matter that she's dead.
Like,
if anything, she's harder to get rid of now. Yeah. You'd have to have Kaya do, and Kaya, I think, is actually cool with Teysa.
Yeah, Kaya and Teysa are pretty cool with each other. So that ain't gonna happen. Yes.
Yeah.
Teysa also gets power from.
Yeah, because she is a spirit you control.
Yeah, yeah, she's the current leader of the Orzhov. After extremely overthrowing the the Ghost Council. But yeah, being an Orzhov.
Her dad Boris Karlov, who was
Boris,
also a motherfucker Orzhov Ghost Council card.
Yeah. Ooh, okay. This is an Ixalan post.
Yep.
Antifex. Vampire, Cleric Knight, Menace. When Vona enters the battlefield, destroy target non-land, non-token permanent opponent controls. Then you could discard a card to make a duplicate of it in your hand.
Yeah, and that can be cast with anything.
Okay, so Vona here comes down, like goes shonk, and you can turn a card in your hand into a copy of it. The anti-post. Yes. Yeah.
It's a very complicated effect, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
It's just weird, oddly worded.
Pretty like it's because you can't just put a card in your hand. And we do have a bit of a schism in the church. That's a part of the set. But what else? Weave. We saw Weave. This card's just good for like -5/-5, and also being a negate.
Yep,
if you can get
it's
that,
a very versatile card.
Yeah. Intruders Inquisition. I just wish that the art was like, so when we saw this moment from like Prof's point of view, it was like a mysterious figure, and then I lost, just forgot what was going on for 5 minutes or whatever. And we see it from Jace's, and Jace is like, all right, when Prof comes in, I need to get the information out of his mind in the most simple way. I need to make sure that he doesn't remember it. Prof comes in, he's like, thwack, and hits him over the head with a lead pipe.
Yeah. Always remember, Jace is an awkward loser, actually. He is not what people ever thought he was.
Yeah, now he's got a wife and kid.
Yeah. But he's still an awkward loser, and that's an important thing about Jace.
Didn't realize Tamio had an adoptive rat kid. Yeah, from the more recent return to Kamigawa, we got to meet.
We knew Tamio had adopted kids.
Yes.
Actually, that was something we've always known about her. She was always known as a mom.
We knew that from Kaladesh. There's a story where Ajani goes and visits Tamio at Tamio's house, and they have a conversation. Tamio, a few of Tamio's kids are there. And that's like where Ajani gets like the resolution to go help out folks on Kaladesh. But yeah, Jace is a dad now, has a kid. I'll pull up a loot a little later here, but yeah, this card's also this card's weird because this is a green effect in the first bit. Target creature deals start. Red does get this.
Red gets bites occasionally.
Yeah, red has usually I think of it as Hadoken or Fling that doesn't kill your creature.
There's there's a card in, I think it was actually in like Dragons of Tarkir, which is like a high kick or something that was just a red bite directly.
Yep.
Of course, it cost 4 in that set, if I remember right, which made it almost
A green effect in red-black being cast by a blue character. Well, the lead pipe is black, and then the effect here is
as is the discard.
Yeah.
You know?
The effect here is it's interesting because this is like very much what went on in that scene. We thwacked Prost with a pipe, and he lost this specific memory that Jace was after. And so that's what the card does. But like to make it function, you know, it's red black. We saw Silent Extraction. This art was used in an article that they had for the first epilogue article. This is Jace getting Vraska the hell out of Dodge when things are going bad on Ravnica. We saw Goose. Triumphant Getaway. When Triumphant Getaway enters the battlefield, heists twice. When you cast a spell you don't own, drain 2.
Oh, this is like an ascendancy. That's good.
Huh. This is the heist, like... This is the super heist liker. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cute. It's a draw 2 off your opponent's deck and then drain. Oh, and then we have, Current Emperor.
Who appears to be very young.
Yes. Quite young. Like, I think technically in, like, a Regency, you know, situation. But, but yeah, whenever another creature enters the battlefield, it gains haste if it's 4 power or higher. You gain 4 life if it's 4 toughness or higher, and if it's 4 mana or higher, you get another creature. Yeah,
this child can fight a bear and win, and fight 2 bears and lose, but it's close though.
Yeah, it was close though. That's the power of like having the entire empire on your side. This child would never be alone in the fight. And then we've got Nashi.
This child can fight a Tarkir bear where there were like 4 2s.
This child may or may not beat the Goose.
That's true.
So, and then this is a mana rock that you charge up, and then it finds the highest mana like of that at that charge if you want.
A very slow tutor, or it's a mana rock.
Yeah.
Well, it's a mana rock until it's a very slow tutor, basically.
Yeah, and then just gonna pull up loot. What? Come on. Oh, right. Damn. Not collected. I loot. This is the small child that Jason Vraska found inside the vault.
Strange looking beast.
Yep. Can I pull up alternate art here? Yes. I like this one more. But yeah. Small child that they found inside the vault, and now they adopted. Do not feed loot after midnight.
Loot is kind of gremlin looking, that's
A
true.
little bit. More so on this one, like, very
Yeah.
So. Yeah, it has a GPS for the multiverse.
Because the Omen paths all go wild, random places. It's difficult to know exactly what's going to happen when you go through one.
Anyway. That's it for Alchemy here. Glad to have looked through and played with and against a bunch of these things. Opponents with a bunch of Golgari Reanimator on their side. But yeah. Anyway. Thank you all for joining. Had a fun time. If you want to catch more, you can always follow. Thank you for the subs. Thank you next time around a bunch. And thanks, Doc, for the raid and for being here.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah. So, yeah, anyway. Upcoming stuff. Tomorrow is still Dragon Warrior Wednesday, where Dragon Quest 6 is still going on. I can't call Dragon Quest 6 Dragon Warrior 6 because it was going to be released as Dragon Warrior 5. Yeah. But Enix of America closed shop before they could put it out. So. Anyway, thank you all for joining. Have a good night, everybody.